So if you use Claude to write emails to your clients, there's this new invisible tag embedded inside your text. I'm not talking about a logo, not a disclaimer at the bottom, something you cannot see embedded in the words themselves that survive copy and paste, and that other people can actually check for them later. Nobody actually sent you an email about this. So let's talk about it and what it actually is and what you should do differently starting from today. So August 11th, which was yesterday, Anthropic, which is a company behind Claude, they announced they are actually adding invisible watermarks to the text and images Claude actually produces. And it covers everything: the Claude app, the API, Claude Code, Cowork. If Claude actually wrote it, it's actually marked. And the reason is because a new European rule called the AI Act Transparency Code, which actually came into effect on August 2nd. It basically requires and mandates AI companies to actually make AI generated content identifiable. So this isn't just about Anthropic, and it's not like Anthropic is being sneaky. It's actually the law. And so every major AI company is actually going to end up doing the same version of it. But here's why it actually matters to you specifically. If you are a consultant, you run a small agency, you're an employee working in an agency, you're a coach, and you use Claude to actually draft proposals, welcome emails, onboarding documents, client reports, maybe sometimes rewrite it a bit, sometimes maybe you don't, because it's probably already pretty good. That's the type of work that's actually now going to be carrying a mark. Here's where most people are actually getting wrong, okay? And I want to be really clear because there's a lot of noise online right now. A lot of people are panicking and they are canceling their Claude subscriptions. There's a whole wave of people on X, okay? Reddit announcing they are leaving Claude over this, and I'm going to put some screenshots here. And some of that is fair. A lot of it is people who are already angry with Claude about something else. There's been lots of pricing changes, issues with usage limits, models getting restricted. And so now the watermark is just like the last straw. People are like fed up. I did notice that a lot of people who watch my channel are actually not subscribed to my channel. So if you're one of those people, one of the best and free ways to actually support my channel is to just subscribe and also hit that notification bell so that I get notified anytime I put out new content. Canceling your Claude subscription does not necessarily solve the problem, because eventually every AI company operating inside Europe is going to be doing this, okay? So you'd switch tools and you end up in the same place in 6 months' time. Now, here's the second mistake. A lot of people are assuming that this means cheated. I mean, if you're already using AI, for me, for instance, I get a lot of backlash on LinkedIn when I post content. Sometimes people say it's AI slop and all that. Like, I get a lot of backlash like that. People already think if you're using AI, you're cheating. So don't assume that this mark means you cheated. It doesn't say that. It's just text that says this was processed by Claude, and that's it. Which means if you wrote a proposal yourself and then you asked Claude to actually tighten it up, that's actually marked. If you wrote your own email and asked Claude to fix the grammar, that's actually marked. Same mark as if Claude wrote the whole thing from nothing. So I think that is the actual problem here. Because the mark can't actually tell the difference between AI actually wrote this and a human wrote this and AI helped, okay? There's no published dispute process currently, and so if someone reads it the wrong way, then it can actually go against you. Now, the third mistake is, and I think this is the big one, sending AI drafted work to clients without rewriting it. That was already a bad habit. This just gave it a receipt. And don't come for me. I know how much time you would save when you actually write your proposals with AI. So here's what I'd actually do given the news, okay? 3 things, and none of them actually involve you canceling anything. Remember, I said if you cancel Claude and you go use another major AI company's model like OpenAI and they want to operate within Europe, you're 6 months down the line, you're still gonna hit the same thing. So canceling your subscription doesn't solve the problem. But one, change where AI sits in your process. This is within your own ability, okay? This isn't dependent on Claude. So this is what I'll say. Claude should be doing the preparation, not the communication. So it can pull the notes together, it can draft the structure, it will pull out what matters from, let's say, a messy call transcript and then you write the thing that goes to the human. Now, I've said this countless times on this channel, and I've said this before. And I'm gonna keep saying it. Okay, AI prepares, humans communicate. That's what we are good at. So this announcement just made that a practical rule instead of a philosophical one. Now, 2, rewrite anything clients facing in your own words. Actually rewrite it, and this is definitely a pain. I know it's like we are going back. We are going back to like factory settings in a way, right? Because you now have to rewrite everything again. I'm not saying change 3 words. Read a draft, close it, and write it the way you would say it out loud. It will be short, it will sound like you, which is the thing your clients are actually paying for. Anthropic has said that the mark may even persist through some editing. They haven't actually said how much, so don't treat light editing as a workaround. Treat it as a reason to stop sending drafts you haven't made on your own. Now, the third one, you need to decide today what you are comfortable with and say it aloud. So if you use AI in a client's delivery, tell your clients and be upfront with them. One line in your onboarding deck could read, I use AI tools to prepare and organize work. Everything you receive from me is reviewed and written by me. Okay? Just put this upfront. That statement will protect you completely. So if a mark ever shows up, you've already disclosed. So now let me actually walk you through how this really looks like in practice. So let's say you just had a discovery call and you need to send a follow-up and a proposal. The old way, you would paste a transcript into Claude, you'd ask for a proposal, you skim it, you change the client's name and send it. The new way, and honestly the way it should have always been, it's step 1. Claude will summarize the call, what they said they need, what they said they've tried, what they said their budget was, what they actually didn't say. All that is actually like a prep task, okay? And Claude genuinely is good at this. Step 2, Claude gives you the bones of the proposal. So the sections, the order, the objections that you actually need to answer. It's still prep. And then step 3, you write it with a summary open beside you. This takes about 15 minutes instead of 90 because the thinking is already done and you're just putting it in your own voice. And then step 4, before you actually send this, make sure you read the first paragraph out loud. If it really doesn't sound like you are the one talking, then you have to rewrite it. It's a lot more work, I must admit, but that's the whole system. But then it's the same work in a different order and you still save a lot of time. Okay, now if you do this, this is exactly what you're going to get out of it. You stop being dependent on a tool's rules staying the same, because honestly, looking at the way things are changing, then they will not stay the same all the time, because this is like the 4th significant change to how Claude works in about 5 months. So there's like a change every month. And your client-facing writing sounds like you, which is the entire reason people actually hired you and not an agency. And you actually stop carrying quiet risk you didn't know you actually had. You don't have to wonder whether something you sent last month is actually going to come up in a conversation you actually didn't want to have, or because you actually didn't read the document. The time saving is still there. It's not as much as it would have been if you just allowed Claude to do everything. It's just that it moved to where it belongs, which is the prep, the summarizing, the first draft, the admin, not the part where you talk to a human being who is actually paying you. Now, one honest note about this, okay? I'm not telling you to go and cancel your Claude subscription. I'm not going to tell you to stop using Claude. I use it every day, and as it stands now, I'm going to keep using it till I find another alternative. The watermark itself is a reasonable idea which has been badly rolled out. There's no opt-out, no published accuracy number for the detector, and no process if someone actually accuses you of something based on it. And those are why people are criticizing this whole update, and I hope Anthropic fixes it. But the lesson here isn't go cancel your Claude subscription. It's that you actually build a client-facing process on top of a subscription whose rules actually keep moving, and you didn't actually notice it until the rules actually move somewhere uncomfortable for you. Most businesses don't have an AI problem, like I say. They actually have a process problem that AI just made faster. So let me know in the comment section below, where do you stand with this update? Are you looking to cancel your Claude subscription? If you're not going to cancel your Claude subscription, how are you going to handle or navigate this situation? Is this something I've talked about? If it's not what I've talked about, let me know in the comment section below, because I'm still like looking for ideas on how to actually like navigate this one. And also I like to know, like, do you typically send like AI written emails, AI drafted work and all that to clients as is? I'm not going to judge you. Also let me know in the comment section below. But this is all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.